Hi, I'm simply going to refer to myself as H because I find that a lot of people have problems trying to pronounce my real name. So, in all my channel videos, you'll probably hear me say, hello, this is H. Makes it easier if I keep it short. Okay, I noticed that on YouTube there's a lot of people doing audiobooks, or there's pre-recorded audiobooks, created audiobooks, and book reviews on one book in particular, Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health, which was a international seller apparently and sold over 16 million copies. I'm reading from a book I have myself called Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health, and I noticed with these audiobooks, these created audiobooks and these book reviews, they always, all of them, always leave out the most important piece in understanding the book, what's been written or what's being said in there. You know, they all miss it out. They all claim it's a full version. Well, it can't be if you're missing this one important piece. This is on page 8. It's called the important note. If you don't read this and you don't fully understand it and you follow this method, you're not going to understand the book. In fact, you're not going to understand any book. It's a great study tool, I found. I was in Scientology for a little while. That's not really important at the moment. We're concentrating on this book. So I have that personal experience and understanding of what it was all about. I am no longer affiliated with it. It reads as follows. In reading this book, be very certain you never go past a word you do not fully understand. Note, you can apply that to any book that you're reading, studying, researching in your personal life. The only reason a person gives up a study or becomes confused or unable to learn is because he or she has gone past a word that was not understood. The confusion or inability to grasp or learn comes after a word that the person did not have defined and understood. Have you ever had the experience of coming to the end of a page and realizing you didn't know what you had read? Well, somewhere earlier on that page you went past a word that you had no definition for, or an incorrect definition for. Here's an example. Quote, it was found that when the crepuscule arrived, the children were quieter, and when it was not present, they were much livelier. You see what happens? You think you don't understand the whole idea, but the inability to understand came entirely from the one word you could not define, crepuscule, which means twilight or darkness. It may not only be the new and unusual words that you will have to look up. Some commonly used words can often be misdefined and so cause confusion. This datum about not going past an undefined word is the most important fact in the whole subject of study. Every subject you have taken up and abandoned had its words which you failed to get defined. Therefore, in studying this book, be very, very certain you never go past a word you do not fully understand. If the material becomes confusing or you can't seem to grasp it, there will be a word just earlier that you have not understood. Don't go any further, but go back to before you got into trouble. Find the misunderstood word and get it defined. Here's a help. 1. Definitions. I'm ad-libbing here. As an aid to the reader, words most likely to be misunderstood have been defined in footnotes the first time they occur in the text. Words sometimes have several meanings. Footnote definitions in this book only give the meaning that the word has as it is used in the text. Other definitions for the word can be found in a dictionary. A glossary including all the footnote definitions is at the back of this book, The Modern Science of Mental Health. So he's stressing there, L. Ron Hubbard's stressing there that, like, that's a very important note. You got to read it and you fully understand what you're studying to find the words, right? Where he says, don't go any further, but go back to before you got into trouble. Find the misunderstood word and get it defined. And then after that, it gives you a hint at using a really good dictionary with that has three meanings. Say like Funk and Wagnall, the old dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. Yeah, they got to have the three definitions. And you find one, right? And then what you do is you get, say, like what we did in the class when I was in Scientology. We had all these different objects, toys or whatever, in a carton, and like you put them out on the table, and then you use them to define the meaning of the definition given, right? And then through that role play, you figure out, does that definition fit that word? Yes or no? If it doesn't, well, then you move on to the next definition, right? And then you do the same thing. And if that doesn't fit, then you move on to the last one, which hopefully should be the one that fits, in your understanding, so you don't have a misunderstood. You've cleared it up. Okay. So yeah, as he said, there's a glossary, as he says in this book. There's a glossary at the back for the words that are used in this or throughout this book. Let's have a look here. Okay. Yeah. So if you have what he says is a misunderstood, you can go at the back where the glossary is and get it defined. Clear up any misunderstoods. So like if he's used a word in this book called basic, such as basic, he's got here the first engram on any chain of similar engrams. Basic is simply earliest. What's an engram? Oh, I wonder what an engram is. So you go into the glossary here and you look for the word engram. Off the top of my head, I remember it's like the small piece of information of an event that happened to you in your life. It's like a charge in your mind. You might see someone walking down the street that looks similar to a guy that bullied you, whether it be at school or in day-to-day life, right? He looks exactly the same, he walks the same, everything about him's the same. So you start thinking here, oh no, it's that guy, he's going to bully me again. The fear sets in, the adrenaline starts pumping. Yeah, and you like maybe hide somewhere, hide in a shop or something like that till he goes past, because you're so afraid he's going to bully you again. Alright, he's walking towards you and he goes past and you think, oh, whew, I avoided that guy. Thank goodness for that. And it wasn't the guy at all, it's just the guy that looked like him. Had similar features and walked like him, etc. Yeah, so we'll have a look at the word engram here, what it actually is defined here. If it isn't here. Engram, a mental image picture which is a recording of an experience containing pain, unconsciousness, and a real or fancied threat to survival. It is a recording in the reactive mind of something which actually happened to an individual in the past and which contained pain and unconsciousness, both of which are recorded in the mental image picture called an engram. It must by definition have impact or injury as part of its content. These engrams are a complete recording down to the last accurate detail of every perception present in a moment of partial or full unconsciousness. So you notice that I started on a word there, right? When I did that, it was always pointed out to me, oh, you have a misunderstood, go and define it, you see. Yeah, I'm just yeah, I could make an excuse, I'm just in poor light here. But yeah, it's pretty much so. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, if people miss out that most important note, you're not going to fully understand the book, The Modern Science of Mental Health. They're going to think they do, or they're going to get so far and they go, oh, stuff this book, I can't understand the damn thing. Yeah, that's because they had misunderstood a word that they hadn't a definition for, or they hadn't defined. Alright? So this is basically an upgrade to the text voice video version I've done years ago. Yeah, so if you like this video, please subscribe, give me your likes, and add comments, and I will make some more videos covering different subjects and books such as this.